Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the BFNL Netball Show for another week. Back in more friendlier confines this week. Back at the normal time of the week as well. And a much healthier looking Kim Bailey joins us as well. Kimmy, great to see that I suppose that bit of spark back about you this week.
Yeah, I didn't realise how crap I looked, to tell you the truth, until I saw it. I'm like, oh, Shaun, what'd you make me do that for? So yeah, feeling a lot better this week, and back on board, and some great games on the weekend.
Yeah, there certainly was. As we mentioned in the preview to this week, it was only 3 games last week, but 2 of them had the potential to be absolute season shapers, and that's the way that it turned out. But before we got to last weekend's games, talking point number 1 was the fact that the netball fraternity of the Ballarat Football Netball League had their second member inducted into the Ballarat Football Netball League Hall of Fame last Wednesday night. Huge congratulations to Shaun and Kim from the East Point, East Ballarat, Golden Point clubs. Just a fantastic load of work she has done over her time in the BFL. She was one of the people that set up the BFL netball competition as it is today. Just one of the real driving forces behind netball in the region. Still involved with the East Point juniors as well. And just absolute congratulations for a very, very, very well-deserved Hall of Fame nomination for Shaun and Kim.
Yeah, I didn't know much about Shaun, to tell you the truth, before this had came out. So what an impressive resume she's got. Definitely. There, and it's great to see another female inducted into the Hall of Fame, of course. So, netball's such a great big part of our league, and to have now 2 inductees is fantastic. And
also quite fitting that the Hall of Fame night was held on the first anniversary of Sal's passing as well. And obviously we miss Sally every day, all of us, especially those that were very, very close to her. I saw a lot of photos of Sally doing the rounds on Facebook last week, and quite fitting that Sal's family were there as well, obviously celebrating her induction in 2014 into the Hall of Fame, which ended up being quite timely. So congratulations to the Canny family, and congratulations to the McLean family as well, who all represented Sally in a very, very good manner last Wednesday night. Yeah,
very honoured to have Sally inducted. We're very lucky. I didn't really get to meet her, to get to know her, which is a real shame, but from what I understand, absolute legend, and so was Shaun. So very lucky to have 2 ladies of these calibres in our Hall of Fame.
We are indeed, and it's great to see netball getting the recognition it so richly deserves. Congratulations to Shaun and Kim, Ballarat Football Netball League Hall of Famer. There's only so many people that can say that. How many people have passed through this league, football and netball ranks, over all of the years of its inception, and there's literally only a handful that can be called Hall of Famers. It's a fantastic honour.
What an honour it is, isn't it great? And it just shows hard work, perseverance, and devotion, how much it pays off.
Oh, exactly right. Moving our attention, though, onto the court. As we said, 2 season-shaping games on the weekend. We're going to put them both in a talking point this week because they were both very, very big talking point games. They end up being about the same margin in each game, I believe, about 8 goals. At the Northern Oval, East Point over North Ballarat City, 39-31, I believe it was in the end. East Point started off well and just kept going all day.
Yeah, it was a close first quarter, 6-all at quarter time. But from what I hear is that the second quarter was the premiership quarter for East, wasn't the third.
I did see a bit of the second quarter there.
Yeah, and I heard they just took control of the game, and I think it was a 12-goal to 5 second quarter, and that's when they just ripped it apart.
Yep.
Kate McLeod had an absolute sensational game on Jordan Bibby, and we actually spoke about this, how much pressure can you apply to Jordan and put her under before she's going to have one of those games where she's a great player, but sometimes you can't just keep that form up constantly, and it's probably the lowest we've ever seen her score, 17 goals at 57%.
In Jordan's defence, bit of a tough day for a shooter because the wind was your normal Northern Oval wind. It was swirly, it was difficult, it was changing the direction of shots. That being said, Lauren Dew at the other end, she seemed to be able to play with the wind pretty well.
Yeah, I disagree with your comment there, Shaun, because they play in that condition every single week. Worse than what we had on the weekend.
Yep.
Much worse. Pressure.
Point well taken.
Pressure does a lot of funny things to people. We've seen that in the ANZ Championship with Mount Aiken on Sunday. Just, goalers can miss shots with the amount of pressure that's applied to them. But Jordan's had a fantastic season, and she had most probably the best defender on her in the competition as well. So great match-up there too. But it was their mid-court too, that East mid-court that controlled it. One of the umpires who umpired, I had a chat to her about it. She's one of my umpires from down this way, from the RDFL, and she just said the standard was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was.
Didn't realise how strong the BFL was, so I was really, really pleased to hear that. just the standard was unbelievable. And if we can see that come out in the finals, maybe, I still think these two will meet in the grand final. Shooting percentages, they were right down right across the board. Gina's was actually up a little bit. She had 14 shots, and that's when she needs to start to take that load off Jordan when she's having that bad game. And Lauren Dew and Emma Farrell were pretty much on par as well with each other, shooting 19 and 20. But Lozzie Atkinson had a great game.
She did.
In the mid-court.
Big black compression socks going on there too. Not quite. I think there's some old lady injuries coming out in Loz at the moment. Just to get those compression socks on. I told it to her on Saturday night as well. So they're not the most attractive looking things sometimes, but they do the job. They do the job. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and it's been a long season, and she goes like a freight train, doesn't she, Loz? So it's bound to happen. The calves. Once you get a calf injury, that takes a long time. So she'll be just nursing this out through most probably the next few weeks, getting to finals. But yeah, really exciting game, and thought they'd win, thought they would.
Yep.
The bubble had to burst sometime.
Exactly right. First game they've lost in a year and a half, North City, but I don't think there's any, and I think Annie even admitted after the game they're disappointed to lose, but they're also pretty happy with some of the outcomes they got from the game.
Yeah, of course. You got to take the positives out of it, and it's not a huge margin. It was 8 goals.
No, 8 goals.
It's only 8 goals, so that can be brought back in a
four
turnovers. Yeah, so but all credit to East. They've been the informed team all season, and I think they deserve the mantle of.
Premiership favourites?
Maybe we're going a little bit early, but minor premiers, and I think they're premiership favourites.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. They showed it on the weekend, and they've showed it all season long so far. The other big game being played last round, Sebastopol versus Redan at the Alfredton Oval. Obviously, very, very neutral venue for this game. You wouldn't have known it, though, because I stood there in, I think it was the last quarter of the game.
Yep.
Closed my eyes, and I would have sworn I was at Marty Bush Reserve.
Yeah.
It was that loud. Sebastopol's got a fantastic netball following, and they were really loud. They were cheering every move the team made, and by that stage, they were well and truly in front. And
I heard the crowd was pretty vocal and pretty supportive. All good stuff.
Nothing.
All positive.
Nothing bad.
And it was a pretty rough and ready game, so I hear, but under control. So which is great. Georgia Can had a really, really good game.
She did.
Controlled the game. Her and Adriana shared the goaling duties, 17 and 18. Bianca Woods had a really good game in the centre.
She did. She was fantastic, and against her former team too. So she had a bit of point proof.
So she had a really good game, just controlling the mid-court. Ruby Parry back. You might have been right. Might have had that little bit of a European hangover. Who knows?
Could have
been. But they just controlled it, and they put some under-19s in that team.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to make finals, it's most probably a good thing. But the experience sometimes against a tough team like Sebas might have got onto some of those young kids out there. I think they had. I think it's Ashley Smith who's come up from the 19s as well. So, she's got a pretty experienced defender, Rhiannon Banner, on her too, and Banner had a good game as well. And just maybe the physical nature of Banner's game can be intimidating to a young girl too, but she does it well. So, Sebastian on a roll. They've been playing some really good netball since that defeat to Melton.
They have indeed. I think that was their wake-up call for them. They've got the bye this week, so it's a guaranteed 4 points for them. So no matter what happens this week, they're going to be at least 2 games ahead of Redan with 2 to play, and one of those for Redan is against Ballarat. Yeah. Sebas at home.
I think so.
I think they're playing finals, especially when you take in the fact that Redan play Lake Wendouree this week.
Yeah, they've got a tough ask, and they'd be really disappointed, Redan, wouldn't they?
They would be. It's a bit of a fall from grace.
Yeah, I think so. But that they were so close to a couple of those top teams. And so they're going to be disappointed in where they're going to finish. But you've got to think what ifs. It's a bit of the what if we only had won that game, or because they were so close on so many occasions.
Then again, Redan they've got to buy second last round, and then they play Ballarat in round 18. Could be a spot there for them, depending on what happens with Ballarat over the next couple of weeks, who have got East Point this week, which they won't win. Then Ballarat have Bacchus Marsh, which they will win. And then in the last round, they have Redan. They could come down to that last round.
I think Ballarat will be in.
I think they will, but I'm trying to give people a reason to keep watching the show for the next 3 weeks.
Oh, you're here, Shawnee. I'll keep watching.
So that we can bring the anticipation up. But a fantastic win by Sebastopol and all but booking that elusive finals appearance they've been looking for since Georgia took over in 2013. Talking point number 3, as it is every week, our Stockland Wendouree Player of the Week. Who is it this week, Mrs. Bailey?
Well, I've been waiting for this game. As you said, it was a big game of the season, maybe. And, I keep banging on about this player because I've seen her play a fair bit, but it's East Point's Kate McLeod. What a get someone of her calibre to play in our league, and to take most probably the best player, one of the best players in our competition, and nullify her, keep her to a lower shooting percentages, and score this week just with full on defence, nice hard rebounding, nice a hard box underneath the ring where she can just drive out. And Kate McLeod, she's a magic player, and she'll be pivotal if East are going to win this year. And congratulations, and your voucher's on your way out, Kate. Well done.
Well done, Kate. $25 Stockland Wendouree voucher coming your way for next time you're down in Ballarat. Obviously, East Point with a couple of big games to go before the season finishes, and of course, the way they're going, they'll be playing finals at the Eastern Oval, which of course is their home court. So.
Yeah.
Kate will definitely be in Ballarat a few times to spend her voucher.
I think so. Yeah, she lives down Melbourne, but she's been making her way up there, and just a quick around the corner up there and spend a voucher.
Certainly can indeed. Let's move on and have a look at round 16 this week, and some interesting clashes taking place this weekend. We're back to a full round of matches this weekend. Sebastopol, as we mentioned, having the bye, so a guaranteed 4 points for the Borough this week, so can't see them dropping out of 5th or 6th spot this week. What we can see, though, is Bacchusmarsh taking on Melton at Mattingly Park. Both coaches, Dean Giarusso and Renee Hulls, will go into this game thinking that their team can win.
Be a really good game, I think. I just don't know if Bacchus has the depth to go with Melton. Melton had a couple of really good wins lately.
You wonder if the bye last week halted their momentum a bit, because they had some good momentum. They had those couple of wins. They beat Sebastopol. They beat, I think it was Melton South as well. They beat fairly comfortably. And that they ran Sunbury.
Yeah, they did. So they'd be a little bit, disappointed having to come to a stop. But, again, the depth of both of these teams most probably has been their downfall this year. They haven't had enough depth right through the mid-court. I think it's been, for both of them, it's been a really a hard task. Their goaling rings have been okay.
Yeah, well, Ellie Simons and Renee Hulls have probably been the two best players of that team.
So I think it'll be a pretty competitive game, but I think Melton will get up.
Yeah, Melton for me as well. I don't think there'll be much in it. I think it'll be a single-figure margin, because I reckon Bacchusmarsh will run them, but I think it'll be Melton. When I say single-figure, to the 8-9 goal end of a single-figure. Redan taking on Lake Wendouree at the City Oval. Basically, this is Redan's season right here, right now, this week, and they couldn't get too much more tougher opposition, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. Lakers have been a bit of a surprise the last few weeks. They've hit form.
Dark horse is the term I'm using. Absolute dark horse.
Time of the year, they really have. And Mel Allen's been in great form. Molly Boyle, Cara Hart, all the old stalwarts are still there.
She said that time.
So
that wasn't
You're still
me
young, but you seem to be around for a million years. But they're such a great team through the mid-court as well, with Romsey and Katie in there as well. So Redan, again, we've already spoke about them, a bit of the youth and the inexperience. I think Emma Henry's been a bit of a lone hand there at the moment.
She's back in defence on the weekend.
Yeah, and I think
which is her natural spot.
Yeah, a lot more comfortable there.
It'll be interesting watching her and Mel Allen go about it this weekend. That'll be worth the price of admission alone.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that'll be a really interesting matchup. Look, I think Lakers are on the roll, and I just can't see them losing this.
I can't see them losing it either, which will mean that Sebastopol will definitely play finals.
It's really important for Lakers to win this too, if they can get...
they want third spot.
Because I think Sunbury last round have...
last round have Darley. They have North Ballarat City before that. So
that could be the one that if Sunbury can't get over North, that could put Lakers back into third spot if they keep winning. And I think they're going to want to keep winning, and I think they'll win this week. That's
where they want to be. There's no doubt about that. East Point taking on Ballarat this week at the Eastern Oval. This should be a pretty good game as well. Obviously, Ballarat's been in some good form. We know how good a form East Point's in. And whilst I think East Point will win this game, I don't think they'll have it all completely their own way.
Yeah, Ballarat's been really good. They had a comfortable victory on the weekend. Callie Rancho, I think 52 from 54 goals, 97%. So amazing effort by Callie. But you know, as I said, I see the ladder broken up into halves in the top 6 really. So one say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the other 3 below them. Yeah. And this is when you see that, and I think we'll see East flex their muscle this week and say to Ballarat, he's nearly there, but not quite. You can't catch us yet.
I think you might be right in that one. Melton South are taking on Sunbury at the Melton Rec Reserve this weekend, and Sunbury a good tune-up for them heading into finals. As you mentioned, they want that 3rd spot and they want it well. Of course, they want percentage boost as well, so that if it does come down to percentage against Lake Wendouree, they want that advantage.
Yeah, they're going to have it this week. The problem is, depending where the Rupo girls go, Ruperts would play Broadford, so they're travelling, so whether they're going to have them there.
They're in Broadford. Yeah. There's a fair distance between Broadford and Melton.
Yeah, so we'll don't know if they're going to be able to use them. But in saying that, Melton South didn't get absolutely slaughtered on the weekend. No. If you look at the score, I think it was 41-68. So again,
they've been shooting. They've had good. Big. Like Ballarat beat them by 27. Sebas beat them by 30 the week before. But they've scored 41 and 43 goals in those fights.
Yeah, it's really helping. Michaela Klassen, 27 from 39. So, great effort then. And Shireen Wolf's been playing really well. I'd be pretty happy with Mountain South. I'm sure Melissa Clomas will be pretty happy with the way the girls have gone from the start of the season and ended up to where they are now. Big improvement. In saying that, I still think Sunbury will have a comfortable win over them. You're right, they're going to be throwing everything at this because they know they need percentage. They want to finish 3rd.
Certainly do.
So I'm going Sunbury.
I think Sunbury will get this one as well. And then on Sunday at the construction site known as Eureka Stadium, and if you are going to the netball, you've got to go through via the back oval and go that way. You can't actually access the netball from the football ground.
Oh, okay.
So make sure if you are going on Sunday to this next game, through the back oval, through oval number 2, and you can access the netball through that way. It's North Ballarat City taking on Darley, and probably the wrong time for Darley to come up against North City, and something that no one's faced in the last really 2 years or so. North City on the rebound.
Poor Darley.
Ouch.
Yeah, but Darley've had a couple of really good wins as well.
Oh, they have.
Wins.
The win against Redan, they outplayed Redan in the second half.
So they've been, we've underestimated them a little bit. And I think it's great. But however, they're going to be coming up against a rampant North, who I think are just going to say, we mucked up. We need to get back on track, and this is how we're going to do it.
One of Darley's strengths is their defence with Brea Rosado and Tani Lopes back there, who've been doing a fantastic job. But having said that, the midfield, North City will have a big advantage through the midfield, and that feed into Jordan and into Jean, I think in the end will be too much.
Yeah, and most probably that height factor too with Jordan. They most probably won't be able to combat. So, Again, they've just sat outside the top 6, but Darley would be pretty happy with their season as well. Yeah, what I like about the season is the consistency. There's really no massive margins. We've had no 100-goal losses and stuff like that, which we've seen in other leagues within our AFL Goldfields. So it just shows you what a great competition we have when these teams can go with the big ones. Week in, week out.
Exactly right. It's been a very good season. Still a few weeks to go in the season before we hit the finals, though, although we're in August now, and we know that August is the finals month, so it's not too far away at all. I'd like to say the weather's getting better, but it's not at the moment, so I can't go with that one for another week or so yet.
We've had a couple of good days, so let's hope the beautiful weather comes out for finals.
Let's hope so. Kimmy, thanks for joining us this week. Great to have you back in full form this week.
Not quite full form, but not far away.
Not far away at all. And thank you for joining us once again on the BFNL Netball Show for another week. We'll see you again next week.